What do we need to know if you have the ascendant in the sign of Virgo in your natal birth chart? I'm a Aquarian, and that's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. Your ascendant represents the point on the horizon of your chart that rises to the eastern horizon of your birth. In esoteric astrology, or I believe it's esoteric astrology, it represents what your soul is wants to rise into, wants to evolve into. It's the first impression that people see you. It represents your bodily features as well as a mask that you wear. So, what happens if your ascendant is in the sign of Virgo? Well, here's what it means that your mannerisms and your appearance, because the ascendant represents your body features, is understated. It is very, very low, very kind of modest, kind of mundane, kind of um, very practical, very detail-oriented look to you. And so there is a great intelligence and reserved quality to Virgo rising. They're very, very intelligent. Virgo is the air earth sign in astrology. So what it means if you have your ascendant in Virgo is that your intelligence is very, very high and up in the charts. So they need time to analyze things around them before they warm up to situations and people around them. They need to really, really absorb their surroundings, absorb their situation before they just tell other, before they open up emotionally, intellectually to others. There's a standoff quality to them. There's a cool quality in someone who is rather a critic or rather particular about things in life, or you know, there's a critical aura when it comes to an ascendant Virgo personality. So they're very, very aware of their bodies. They're very health conscious. They want to put all nutrients into their bodies. Their health is their number one value and priority when it comes to their physical health, but sometimes they can neglect their mental health. That also needs to be taken into account. Part of that is accepting who you are as you are, knowing that you're enough just as you are, while also moving on the path of self-improvement. So it's both and, not either or. They're very sensitive to signals in their body, and they're very sensitive to their environment around them. There's a need to always be in control of their environment, to be at the helm at all times. A lot of them find an interest in physical and mental health and well-being. Now, I know somebody, a family member who has this placement, also having a Virgo moon and Neptune in Virgo. I know that this person is very particular about the food that she likes to eat. And so there's a very, very particular quality to Virgo with they're kind of picky about the food that they like to eat. Not certain, um, you know, vegetables or certain types of different foods. So there's a pickiness about food, wanting the best quality, wanting things to be nutritious, wanting things to be beautifully done, wanting the quality to be there. Virgo wants to really make things the best that they can be. They're very particular about what they choose to put in their bodies. Now, on the downside, they are the warriors. Warriors, not warriors, as in fighters, but they worry a lot. They're very, very concerned. They can put themselves into deep mental shock health and deep mental um, stress and strain when it comes to their worrying and their anxiety, flipping out all over the place and getting bored and excited about all the possibilities of the kind of dilemma. So they tend to notice the tiny details of life that other people may overlook. So they notice these details. They notice if the chip falls in the wrong direction. They notice that the blind is not pulled up. They notice that the chart is not on the wall straight. They want to perfect everything that they see and everything that they notice as perfect to make them feel safe, to make them feel secure. Um, and a lot of people don't give a flying about the details that they um, see in their life, but these people who have Virgo rising really do. They are the helpers of the zodiac. They want to be of service. And so they tend to attract people to them that need their help, that need their care. This is also relating to this person in my life because the person that this person was married to was sort of dependent upon this person to feed him, to care for him, and she did it out of love. And so there is this people that are attracted to Virgo risings are people that need their help, that need their care, that need their advice. So their relationship dynamics can be quite confusing because they may have very dilapidated expectations of a certain type of thing, very strongly to them that they may anomalate to them. They don't always see their partners and partnerships clearly. They're not always clear when it comes to their relationships. There also is a quiet charm to them. They have a lot to offer once they get a chance to open up. Because once they get to know you very, very well, the more they get to know you, the more they offer to you. They will go out of their way and do kind, humble, practical things for you, practical acts of service. And it's pretty, well, it may be difficult actually to be close to them because they're very discerning about the types of people that they bring into their inner circle. So this is about doing things skillfully with precision, perfectionism, and attention to detail. This is their mojo strengthenings. They're very sensitive to their environment. This placement is all about being of humble service to other people, doing work not for the money, not for the rewards in the end, but for free, for its own sake, for the value of the work on its own. And that's a very, very beautiful quality to Virgo is the willingness to just make a difference, to just serve without expectation of anything in return. That's one of the high roads of Virgo energy. So there's a desire to be of service here. People with this placement can really thrive in engaging in tasks that you can do to improve yourself, self-improvement mannerisms, ways of becoming better, becoming a better version of yourself, either through reading certain books or to having a certain spiritual practice or listening to these podcasts that help you to improve your well-being in yourself in general. So that's very, very good for them. There's also this, this flexible and adaptable quality to them that they possess because Virgo is a mutable sign. They're very flexible and adaptable. They're very, they may become critical and becoming excessive about their health. Also, so that is also very, very important. And the Baton Rouge is on the path again. So we have somebody who has this placement is very, very health obsessed. They're all over their health. They want to improve their performance as much as possible, as best as possible, and they're all about analyzing details. That's their focus is analyzing the details and fixing what needs to be fixed. In terms of, because Virgo is a very curious, very nerdy type of intellectual sign. They're always curious for information, especially good quality information. They're ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and research. So They may thrive at really, really digging deep into certain subjects. They can teach Gemini commitment. They teach, in terms of their teaching style, this can be very, very logical, very left brain, very step by step. Here's the way that this is supposed to be done, kind of thing. They rejoice in cooperation. They need cooperation. They need the people to cooperate with them, just like they would cooperate with others. So Virgo has a desire to protect and nurture those around them, not so much in a Cancerian way, but in a Virgoian way, in a very service-oriented, practical, pragmatic kind of way. They're all about result. What is the outcome of this thing? What am I going to gain from this thing? Despite also going in the work, we're not expecting anything in return. So it's sort of a dichotomy all in one. So there is a materialism here. So there's a strong need for materialism. They don't like to be center stage. They want to be in the background. They want to build the sets of the play rather than be the main leading role. They want to be in the background. They want to be the assistant, service worker, not the one who's getting all the attention, not the VIP necessarily. And so they can be very overly self-critical, just like they may be super critical over others in their lives. They are incredibly self-critical. And they need to be very, very mindful of how they talk to themselves, making sure that it's compassionate, that it's understanding of themselves, that it's very in the know thyself philosophy of indoors kind of thing. That they're forgiving themselves, that they're being kind to themselves is very, very important. And it's actually very critical of them to do that. So they may see the flaws in what they do. They can see these flaws, they can recognize these flaws, they can take accountability for these flaws, and they can work on improving them. For Virgo rising, everything must be done just so in a certain kind of way, in the perfect kind of way, moving about your behavior bodies, sort of agendas in your life. They're very hard to please and impress at the same time. Now, one of the lessons of Virgo is what is called discrimination in a healthy way. Discrimination in order in your environment is of the utmost importance to you if you have Virgo rising. You're not the one to take risks out of impulse. Um, you're more about um, really stepping into situations cautiously, approaching situations very in a very cautious kind of way. That's what you're all about. You can be highly self-sufficient if you have this placement. So that is very, very important as well. You can also be fairly clever if you have this placement. Very, very intelligent also. There's a desire to understand the world around you. You want order out of chaos at all times. Led by your thinking, your logical mind, as opposed to your feeling part of you. And there's a helpful, kind, and reserved quality to you. They're very practical, they're very reliable. Um, they have high expectations over most things in their life, which includes other people and how they behave, how they come across. At the low level, they can be warriors, they can be pessimistic, they can be highly intellectual with a strong sense of duty. They're very meticulous. The desire to give back to your community, give back to the people that matter to them. The world is very, very important to them. They can suffer from insecurity about themselves. They can be prone to anxiety, maybe from a young age, because we typically express our ascendant sign more when we're a child. when we become an older child, a teenager, we flip over to our sun sign. So as a child, you're probably expected to be behaved and mature beyond the age that you were at the time. And you really need someone who loves you unconditionally for who you are, just as you need to love yourself unconditionally and love others unconditionally. But it starts from within. That's the thing to remember. So that is all that I have for you on the Ascendant in Virgo. If you found value from this video, please like this, share this with someone you know who would also enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.